Hi, I'm Queen Sylvie of the multiple award winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim and Larry E, and welcome to another happy Wednesday hump day on the Tim's Tidbits show. How you doing, Larry?
All right, man. Trying
All
to get
good.
by surviving.
That's difficult. That can be so freaking difficult. It ain't funny. How's the weather down in
Mm.
Texas? What's happening down there?
Oh well, it's not hot. It's not cold. It's like it's on the fence pretty much. So we're trying to see what we're gonna get. So we don't know right now. It's not cold, not hot. It's not. It's chilly. It's kind of like a bowl of chili. Lukewarm.
Yeah, we're in the 40s, so we're
Oh,
chilly. Yeah, we're
we
chilly.
gonna be 65 up here.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's the one thing I super miss about Texas. Yeah, that's winter weather, 60s.
Yeah, until it ice is over,
Until
then you get
yeah,
whatever that is.
whatever that is for the moment that it does. Anyhow, hey man, what are we going to talk about on tonight's show? Let's see. The U.S. sends Patriots to Ukraine. And we're not talking about American Patriots. We're talking about Patriot missiles. So it looks like, yeah, I know that, I guess we know that they've been begging for that type of stuff for like ever.
I still can't believe they're still at war, still fighting. That's so stupid.
I don't understand, but I mean, this is taking stuff to a whole new level. So, hey, check it out. Let's come back and chitty chat.
After months of urgent requests from Ukraine, it looks like Washington is getting ready to send Kyiv what's considered NATO's most effective tool for intercepting incoming cruise and ballistic missiles, the U.S.-made Patriot air defense system. The U.S. long resisted sending the Patriot system to Ukraine. Officials had said it could insert too much U.S. influence into the conflict and anger Moscow. But behind the scenes, as Russia stepped up its missile attacks on critical infrastructure in Ukraine, especially since October, the Biden administration was said to be more aware than ever of the reality of Ukraine's needs. The Army has said a Patriot battery typically requires about 90 people to operate and maintain, and months of training. But analysts doubt that American personnel will be put directly at risk. Rather, a Patriot battery could be sent from the inventory of another country. And he says the U.S. likely made the calculation that Russia is so consumed by its military needs that its threats of escalation toward the West are far less serious. Andy Rosen, TRT World, Washington.
Well, now, that's some badass weaponry.
Man, that war is bad anyway, but it looks boring as hell. All they're doing is shoot missiles.
Shooting missiles at each other?
Shoot missiles at long distance ranges, tearing up apartments and houses and crap like that. I'm like, come on, it's not even a real actual war.
Yeah, but
it's just.
Did you hear how many guys it takes? It takes, what, almost 100 guys to operate that thing?
I'm like, you spend more time getting the guys together, train them to shoot it, and then you shoot the missile. How long does it last? 30 seconds? Sometimes it might even hit the building. It might just hit the, oh my God.
I
This
don't
is
know
ridiculous.
that those, I'm not sure exactly how the Patriot, missile defense system works. It's supposed to, like a seek and destroy, incoming missile type shit. So, hey, who knows? But, I did see somewhere, but, Russia's down to like 2,000 missiles or something. They've spent most of their supplies. So we'll see how much longer he can keep, shelling Ukraine.
Oh, and it's crazy because after they finish shooting all their missiles and whatever, what's going to happen then? What then? Where we at? Where are they at? The U.S. doesn't want to get really involved, but they have to because they're allies.
Send in the troops with swords.
Yeah, they get swords and throwing rocks at each other, something like that. Like on Saving Private Ryan, I'm like, come on, man.
You get those kids like, what did we have? Those little blow up things that you could get as.
Yeah, slingshots or something like that. At the end of the day,
let them take out their aggressions like that. What's
wrong with pathetic. You? I'm like, they'll grow up. I'm like, they done tore up all that stuff over there, and then I don't know whether their idea is to tear it all up where they can't rebuild it so they can take over it or whatever. I'm like, you just should have sent in a bulldozer and started knocking stuff down or whatever. Instead of it's stupid.
That's the sad situation, and I would hate to be in that situation. I mean, you could imagine, that if they this devastated Dallas, what you gonna do with all that, waste, that destruction? I mean, how do you deal with that?
When they had the floods in Louisiana, it's kind of like I can imagine the same type of scenario. When they got flooded out, they didn't have anywhere to go, and the United States wasn't helping anybody. Then finally, everybody came down. A lot of people came to Houston and Dallas. But I can imagine it's the same kind of scenario with the war situation because those people have to move.
Oh, when you're displaced like that?
Yeah. Then you get called illegal alien. I'm like, how you an illegal alien when you on Earth and you are human? I still ain't understood that terminology, that language.
Well, alien, yeah.
Calling people refugees when you're from the same country. Get out of here, man.
And it all comes down to, how you feel about a particular person, the way they practice a religion, the way they speak their language, whatever the case may be, you heard out, and I stumbled across this, and that leads me right on to the next subject that he's going to talk about, Nazi Festival.
Ooh.
And I think if you remember earlier in the war, Putin had made a comment that, Ukraine's full of a bunch of Nazis, blah, 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 and that's why they need to be, straightened up, and we need to, get the Soviet philosophy back into that country. So, I'm like, and then it was interesting that I happened to stumble across this little piece, and let's share it with everybody and then come back and tell me what you think. It's crazy.
Every year in December, hundreds of neo-Nazis flock to attend an annual White Power music festival in Ukraine. Over the course of a weekend in Kiev, more than a dozen bands take to the stage, spewing hate-filled, anti-Semitic lyrics, praising Nazi figures, and calling for violence. Among the crowd, white supremacist imagery, from Celtic crosses to swastikas and black suns, are displayed on t-shirts and tattoos. They've become a vital recruiting ground for hardcore extremist groups and a major income stream. In Germany alone, far-right concerts were estimated to have generated 1.4 million euros in 2018, money used to finance political material, organise events, or cover legal fees for extremists who fall foul of the law. Now, as the scene recovers from the pandemic, experts worry that the return of these concerts will give a major boost to Europe's far right. My name's Tim Hume, and I cover the far right for Vice World News.
Yeah, he should be bombing that shit.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I'm like,
I
that
mean,
shit
yeah,
didn't get bombed.
I can't believe they allow that kind of, freedom of speech, I guess.
Even then,
Yeah, even
now,
then.
free, hey, freedom of speech is okay. Okay, as long as you're not crossing the lines of humanity. You see what I'm saying?
Or you're
Okay,
spreading, or you're
yeah,
spreading hate and
yeah. Yeah,
anti-Semitism or
exactly.
whatever the case it may be. I
Yeah.
agree.
And when you say anti-white or anti-black or anti-Asian or anti-Jew, that's where you cross the line. If you don't like a person because they're just a piece of shit, they're just a piece of shit. Whether they black, white, Jew, Hispanic, whatever the fuck. Okay, if they're a killer, whatever, they distant to your family, whatever. But you don't just automatically do that. And they need to bomb that shit. Now, if he's serious about why he's trying to take over Ukraine, which is bullshit, it ain't because of them. He wants the property. That's what he wants. But he need to bomb that shit. That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
that just happens to be an excuse.
Yeah.
And
But the thing about it is,
I don't think
that,
you could. There probably is that type of a event that takes place on
no, it is.
in
I
the
know it
U.S.
is.
here. I mean, I'm just not privy to it, and I wouldn't ever want to even be privy
Yeah.
to it because I think it's
We got
simply disgusting.
KKK is very dominant in our government.
Yeah,
It's
but they're more
dominant in our
covert.
Senate.
They're not as outward. I mean, they're more covert about that. I mean, they're just not out there on the stage, banging music and
Well,
spreading.
I'm like this, Tim. If I know you don't like me because I'm black, I want to know ahead of time, so I know to stay away from you. I'd rather a person just say, "Hey, I don't like black dudes. I don't like black people." I'm like, cool. I don't know why you don't like us. That's not gonna make me not like you, but I'm gonna stay away from you. So you won't give me no problems. Okay? But I would rather know. I'm cool. And I'm like, if a person KKK, or if it's a black person, whatever the hell their problem is with black people or whatever the deal is, whatever it is, I want to know. So I know to get away from you.
It's kind of nice to know up front so you don't have to agitate one another.
Yeah, it exists. It's been here before I was born. It was probably here before you were born.
Oh,
No, it was here before you were born. Discrimination, racism, and it's here. All the stuff we're going through right now has always been within our society, within our culture, within our humanity. So it's nothing new. But I would like to know.
No. Yeah, I would like to know up front too. But I thought that was kind of an interesting little piece when I stumbled across that. And I'm like, every year in December, what a great month to host something like that.
Right, and then Ukraine is being petty. They're being petty by saying, "Okay, you saying you the neo-Nazis the reason why you're over here? Let's throw a concert. This really piss you off."
And we'll send a copy to Putin. Send a copy to Putin.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all bombing the wrong shit. That's the shit you should be bombing. Get your
that is a guy. Yeah, get the coordinates on that thing and drop a bomb on that bullshit.
Bombing mothers and fathers and churches and schools and hospitals and grocery stores stuff. We need to sustain society. Bomb that. We don't need that shit.
Anyhow, hey, let's move on. Speaking of the shit that we don't need, one thing that we really don't need in this country is the homeless epidemic that we do suffer from. And there's a lot of people that have been displaced. And for one reason and or the other, it may not be through war, but there's other reasons that this can happen to an individual. And it just so happens that LA seems to be like the hotbed for homeless in the United States. And
baby.
And the new mayor of Los Angeles, she said her first action in this office was going to be to declare an emergency, and exactly what she just did. Check it out.
Hi there, Lou. LA's new mayor, Karen Bass, she visited this emergency operations center here in downtown Los Angeles this morning. And one of her first actions as mayor was to declare a state of emergency against homelessness.
Day one, as I said yesterday and as I said throughout the campaign, on day one, I would declare a state of emergency. I actually haven't even been to City Hall yet. It shows the people of Los Angeles that we are united and serious about the city's crisis of homelessness.
The mayor signed an emergency declaration, and she plans on increasing the city's response to this crisis by using all available resources. The mayor says her hope in signing this emergency declaration will be to skip all of that red tape, all the policies and regulations that are in place that impact affordable housing projects. And she wants to make these facilities less expensive. This declaration now requires city department heads to identify any city-owned properties that can be used for housing. It will also expedite the leasing and purchasing of motels, hotels, and apartment buildings to transition those who are homeless to better environments.
Is that insane? That's just
Yeah, but
what
I
a
think it's
train wreck
smart.
that is for all those homeless. I mean, what a disaster. I remember being in Los Angeles and seeing that, and I was just blown.
You know what? It defaces the city. Los Angeles is California itself. I've been in California. I've been in Los Angeles. I've been to San Diego. Very beautiful parts. Hollywood. I've been there. That just defaces the whole city. And if you go there and see that, you're gonna think about LA a whole different way. So they need to clean it up. It just makes the whole city look bad. And that homeless thing has been going on for the longest. And the thing about it is how they're going to attack it. I'm thinking they're going to try to find out who's on drugs, who's not on drugs, who just can't afford housing, who just barely can afford housing. So I'm curious about the game plan and how they're going to just shift through the riffraff and who really wants to do better and who doesn't give a damn. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
'Cause that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you got to
yeah,
figure out.
yeah. Queen is watching. Hi, Queen. Thank you for watching us. Anyhow, yeah, I agree. You got to discern. Do I have people that have mental issues that I
Yep.
have to deal with and I can get them back on track? Do I have people that have drug issues that now I need to deal with them a different way to get them back on track? Right? Do I have a people that was just displaced for job loss, other economic issues, maybe divorce, who knows what? Right? And right, and then you've got the people that you said, number four, I just don't give a shit. And
Yeah,
so how do you deal with that? So I'm thinking, you're able to, if you attack it properly, you could probably cut it in half.
Yeah, because you think about it, those people on the street, mental health issues. Some people just they just can financially afford it. Some people are ex-convicts. Some people are on drugs. Well, yeah, mental health issues, on drugs, just can't afford it. Convicts, and then some people just don't.
Don't
I
care.
don't, I can't say they just don't really give a shit. Because if you really just don't give a
They're
shit,
that
you probably have
depressed.
mental health
They
issues.
just feel at a loss. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so you just gotta. I guess she's gonna take it through stages because there's different stages to being homeless. I've actually found myself a couple of times where I was out there and when I was younger, I wasn't getting along with the older people, and I was going through transition from being young and going to being a man, and people didn't understand my mentality, and my mentality was changing, how I was growing, and they kind of kicked my ass out.
I remember when they had the when we were
Kicked
down
my
in
ass out.
Dallas for those years, and they had and they dealt with the homeless that was living underneath the overpasses, in downtown Dallas and in Fort Worth also. And I remember they fenced them off, closed them off, and I don't know what they ever did with the people besides just kick them out of where they were at.
It's a place in Fort Worth. I remember when I was working over there, and it was like some small apartments. Now all those apartments are closed down, and there's a lot of homeless people on the street, less than 200 yards away from the apartments. I'm like, if you got these apartments you can close down, you got these homeless people. What's the deal? You got this. You got this. You don't want to spend because you got to spend money, Tim.
You mean down there
You
in
got to spend money on
southeast Fort Worth, there off of
yeah, right there about off 30. You got to
yeah,
spend money on
30.
drug rehab. You got to spend money on drug rehab. You got counseling. You got to spend money on counseling. You got to spend money on helping people with money assistance. So you got to spend money on people that's been incarcerated, that's out now, that can't find jobs to support themselves. Especially LA is expensive. LA is expensive.
Oh,
So
yeah, big
it's
time.
gonna take money. You can
That's the
sign
other
a decoration.
situation too. That's why people are moving out of the place.
Yeah, you can sign a decoration all you want, but you got to come up with some money because you got to have programs in place that's going to help those people. And then, like you said, half of them might make it out. So that's a start.
I would like to think that you could affect 50% of them. And just like
You know
any
what?
other program, you're going to have people that are just going to relapse for whatever reason. And
I think you can. I think you can help 50%. 50% is a great percentage for our humanity. You know, so that's a great percentage.
see what they can do.
5%, so 50% is good. So
So
think
what
about
was
it.
it? Mayor Karen Bass, right? Good luck, Mayor.
Yeah, she wasn't playing. Yeah, and they clean them streets up, man. Golly, it's just defacing L.A. L.A. is it's a great place to visit. I don't know about living, but
That's about
visit.
it. You know,
That shit fun.
just leave and say, smell you later.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit, like Vegas. I don't want to live down there.
Oh, no, that place is bad, too. You know?
It's great to visit, though.
Speaking of bad and corruption, you know, it's nice to know that not only do you have corrupt leaders and individuals in the United States, you have them in Europe, too. So check this out.
The European Parliament will hold an emergency debate today on allegations that Qatar tried to buy influence over its policy decisions. Police have seized hundreds of thousands of euros in cash following a search of offices, private homes and hotel rooms. The Gulf State has denied any wrongdoing. Azadeh Mashiri now reports.
Possible corruption at the centre of Europe. It's an astonishing investigation. Police searching through homes and offices in Brussels. Authorities seizing hundreds of thousands of euros in cash. Some even found in a suitcase in a hotel room. Investigators had already suspected a Gulf state of buying influence in Parliament with cash and gifts. Qatar denies it's involved and any wrongdoing. And now police have arrested several people who are now charged with participation in a criminal organisation, money laundering and corruption. One of them is Eva Kaili, an elected European Parliament Vice President. This is a speech she gave just last month on Qatar's human rights record.
They committed to a vision by choice and they opened to the world. Still some here are calling to discriminate them. They bully them and they accuse everyone that talks to them or engages of corruption. But still they take their gas. Still they have their companies profiting billions there.
She's now been suspended from the Socialists and Democrats group in Parliament and flat out expelled from the PASOK party in Greece. So can people still trust Europe's institutions?
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Sound like a typical government function.
You know?
I'm like, come on. They didn't pay off the right people.
You know, and yeah, that's your European Union. I know. And Qatar, so that everybody knows, that's where they're having the World Cup. The big stadium that got built, you know, and everybody was all not understanding why it would be held into a place where you suppress women as you do. And, you know, the way that they do deal with various things that are, that's a whole different story. But yeah, they are the kind of people that if you're not wearing a hadad and you're going to, you know, go to prison, that kind of stuff. You
see how they threw the old girl under the bus? They just expelled her. How you gonna get expelled when you grown?
you're out of Parliament.
Grown
you're no longer. That's like
expelled.
I didn't know. Did they do that in Congress?
I don't think you expel somebody in Congress.
Yeah, can you suspend somebody from the House or the Senate? Can you give a temp?
If
anybody knows that, yeah.
But they protect each other better. They see the thing about the United States compared to something like that. United States, they one thing I say about the House and the Senate and the Congress, they think ahead. They're smart. All that shit Trump did, Nixon, all the stuff that's been done in our government. How many impeachments have we actually had? True impeachments. How many government officials have we had that went to prison?
One, right? And that was what was his name?
Yeah, exactly. We forgot his name. It rarely happens.
Yeah.
Our country is not going. The United States is not going to let. I don't care how Biden might be a Democrat all he wants. He is not going to let none of that crap that's going on over there get out in the public. Now, Trump did what he did. They threw Trump. Trump is Trump, okay, but they're not going to let the whole Senate, the nation, go down like that.
I think it was Andrew Johnson that got impeached. I may be wrong.
No, that wasn't Lyndon Johnson. It was Nixon, wasn't it?
I said Andrew Johnson. No, Nixon. He quit. He quit before he got impeached.
Who got impeached?
Andrew Johnson, I'm thinking. I
think one. It's rare. It doesn't
way
happen. We
way
talk
back.
about it.
Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, I found that interesting. Suitcases full of money. So they was on these people, watching the transactions that were happening, why is this, Qatar, greasing everybody? Part of it could have been so that they get the World Cup. I mean, I don't know. And then that makes you start to wonder about the FIFA. The football, soccer.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about financial aid in America.
No, FIFA. Football.
Okay.
Football. This is the only country that calls it soccer, and all the other countries call it football.
Well, it is football originated. Football is considered soccer is the real American football. Then you got football.
It is football.
But think about it, football. Then you got American football. What we got is not football. It's American.
Some hybrid thing that we came up with. Yeah,
it's better. It's better. It's way better. I tell you that. Way better.
Yeah, can you imagine if they did that in the soccer? They, you going for the goal and the guy comes out this pow.
That would be hilarious. Get blasted. Blam!
Bam, man.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Like rugby. It'd be like rugby. Basically, it'd be like rugby. Rugby is the in between American football and soccer.
That's kind of what it is.
Because you can actually drop the ball in rugby and kick it forward.
Yeah, and do stuff like that. You just can't do a forward pass.
No, you can. Oh, in rugby, you can drop the ball and kick it.
Yeah, but you
forward.
can't. Yeah, but everything has to be a lateral. Everything has to be behind you. The passes when you pass.
It's hilarious. It will be hilarious. Somebody finna score, and all of a sudden somebody come in and blast them.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Good evening, Pam. Thanks for watching. Yeah, that's a big difference. No forward passes in.
Hey, Tim. Rugby. Real quick, when I was in the Army, we would do different things other than regular PT. One time, we decided to play soccer. And we played football soccer. And exactly what you said, like one time I was kicking the ball, getting ready to score, somebody came out nowhere and just blasted me. So when I got blasted, the rest of the game, Tim, all we did was just blasted each other.
Had a concussion and shit.
It was fun as hell. It was fun. Somebody get close, but the goalie come out, blam! Oh, hilarious, man. But okay.
That's insane. Speaking of, but you know what? And you made a comment, and I wasn't even going to play this, but since you brought it up, and you talk about our politicians are smarter than the politicians back, I have to beg to differ with you.
Uh-oh.
Check it out.
With the Mark Meadows text messages. Boy, he was receiving a lot of them from members of Congress, the president's chief of staff.
Yeah, shocking stuff here. Perhaps not surprising, but it remains shocking. Nearly 2 years after the January 6th insurrection, thousands of previously unseen text messages are revealing the lengths to which Republican lawmakers went in their efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Talking Points memo has obtained 2,319 texts that were turned over to the House January 6th committee earlier this year by former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. They show Meadows in conversation with at least 34 Republican members of Congress, with many of those lawmakers sharing debunked conspiracy theories about a stolen election in order to help then-President Donald Trump stay in office. In one text sent to Meadows just 3 days before Joe Biden's inauguration, South Carolina Congressman Ralph Norman writes, quote, "Our last hope is invoking martial law. Please urge President to do so."
What do you think?
Okay, Tim, it's 2022. We all know you don't do dirt.
You don't leave a footprint like that. That's
you
stupid.
don't do dirt. You don't leave a paper trail. You don't text. You don't Twitter. You don't what else? Facebook. You don't put your major shit on
anything you put
anything social media. You can erase it all you want, but it's still there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like,
it's still there.
He said that they're not stupid. Yeah, they are.
Well, I'm just saying.
And then they have that many correspondences back and forth and afterwards.
When I say not stupid, I mean like a whole united nation. That was done for them to get jammed up like that. I'm saying this is a small a Republican side that's trying to just salvage something that's already done. But I mean, like but what are they doing about it? Nothing. Who's been arrested, Tim?
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think that
Ain't nobody been arrested. Ain't nobody been incarcerated. Ain't nothing.
What are they doing? That's what they were talking about. The January 6th committee's talking about, putting what recommendations to the for some 6-7 individuals to be indicted and investigated.
Okay, indicted, investigated, but who's been incarcerated? Who's been convicted? They didn't arrested and convicted more than resurrection.
Well, just like I don't know if anybody, just like this Mark Meadows guy, he rolls over and starts, telling everything. Just don't put me in jail. I'll tell you everything.
But ain't nobody did. No one on a higher level in the United States
really doing time.
All that crap. No one goes to jail. The lower level people. Even the lower level people don't even go to jail.
Okay, let's talk about it one more again so that we understand this. Wrong zip code.
Wrong zip code?
Enlighten me on that. All depends on what zip code you're from. You may be doing time. If you can afford the higher price zip code, you're not doing time.
Yeah. That's how it is. I'm like, well, that's why I'm confused about them over there. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all need to look at our schematic.
The world's based on a zip code.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, they even had a TV show about it, right? What was that? Beverly Hills 109.2.
I know, right?
So, Beverly
Hills 90210, and then compared to what other TV show?
Rolling with the money.
Good times.
Yeah, what was Sanford's? What was Fred's zip code?
Sanford and Son, yeah. Sanford and Son, Beverly Hills 90210. Whoa, I'm like,
oh man. Anyhow, hey, let's talk.
Fresh Prince
of Bel-Air. Well, he moved on up, so that doesn't even count.
Jeffersons, they did move up, but they were still black though, kind of. All right, let's do it.
Let's do this. And our president did do one good thing. He signed the Equality in Marriage Act. And you and I have been talking about this a little bit, with the Supreme Court justice that we have there that's obviously an interracial marriage, but he seems to have a problem, Clarence Thomas, with a, interracial marriage and with gay marriage. Not to drop a name, Clarence Thomas. But I don't, thank God our president invoked it, this into law, hopefully. And then again, how laws can be abolished by the Supreme Court at any time. Who knows? This world we live in, I don't know, buddy.
President Biden signing a marriage bill into law today. That bill ensures same-sex and interracial marriages are recognized in every state. However, the act does not force states to issue marriage license to same-sex couples. The president, though, said the new law strikes a blow against hate.
For most of our nation's history, we denied interracial couples and same-sex couples from these protections. We failed to treat them with equal dignity and respect. And now, the law requires that interracial marriage and same-sex marriage must be recognized as legal in every state in the nation.
So, yeah. Now, again, you heard that little rhetoric where so that would be for like tax purposes and things like that. When you're filing, you're going to be recognized as a married couple and be able to do that and have the benefits of that, right? Mm-hmm. But did you hear that rhetoric at the part? Well, then it'll still be kind of like up to the states.
Yeah, I'm like the federal law, state law, totally different. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like OSHA. You familiar with OSHA, occupational health and safety?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Pretty much. OSHA has these standards. OSHA says companies have to operate their companies under this umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can't take away from you can't take away from OSHA. You can only add to it.
Right.
Okay, so you can't take away from federal government. Okay, you can add to it, but the crazy part about the states that you can you have to kind of abide by all those rules, but you don't have to because it's a state level is different. OSHA, you got to abide by it, but you can make changes for your company. The federal government, you got to abide by it. You can make changes for your state. Make sense?
And I think it goes down to local government too.
Yeah, local. That's what I mean. Local government.
It trickles on down.
OSHA says you got to this the standard. OSHA has this high standard. The states and the local government have a lower standard depending on how they want to go.
But is
you
it
still got to operate within the guidelines?
Let's say, for instance,
a
gay couple trying to obtain a house, and lender doesn't lend to gay married the gay people because they don't recognize them as being married, and obviously then they wouldn't receive the benefits of this or that, right? That could be part of the package to get this particular loan, right? They have crap out there like that. So I think it can still lead into discrimination when you in some instances when you let some states self-govern depending upon the particular attitude of the leadership of the state at that time.
Okay, well, I think that as a business owner, forget the state, forget the federal government, forget these damn laws. Let's go from you and me as a man or a man and woman or whatever. I'm coming to you. This is a scenario. You coming to me, I got a business. I have a real estate company. I'm trying to sell houses. You come to me. If I want to sell you a house, there's basically two requirements. Your credit score and the down payment with the money. If you don't have the down payment, you can go to the VA or whatever. Am I right? So you got a big down payment, you got cash, or you going through a HHA, FHA, or whatever it's called, because I know the VA has VA loan. You got the other programs for people that don't have all the money. Then you got cash, and then you got whatever. You got to have a good credit score, and then that's pretty much it. That's all that matters. When you're dealing with business and people, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, short, tall. What matters is, can you pass the minimum standards? Minimum standards is if you want to buy a house, credit score. You want to get a car, credit score. Some places don't worry about your credit score. You can get a car, the interest rate going to be higher, and you got to pay more per month, but it doesn't matter. Or some other places, you ain't got to have a driver license. So business is business. That's what kills me about this whole thing.
It'll be interesting. Who knows how it's going to pan out? And it could, and that would probably lead into some discrimination lawsuits and actions against the people. And who knows how it could work? Couples only. I mean, I don't know, but I don't understand why would you even give that dark path to a state to go down it.
You ain't making no money being racist and discriminating. You ain't making no money. You might have somebody that's a great employee. They could be a great employee, and then you might know he's black, he's too short, or he's white, or he's a female, she's a female, or they're gay. Who gives a damn? I mean, I'm like, if you in business, your business is to make money. Who cares? If I can listen, you know how I stand. I believe men and women should be together only because of reproductive purposes. But I do believe that if it takes two men or two women to be together to be a better person, move us forward, go forward. But as the business standpoint, I don't give a damn what you are, who you are. You could be an alien. Do you have money? If I got a business and I want to move my business forward, do you have money? Can you pass credit check? Do you have the down payment? Do you have enough money where I can still make money off you being part of my business? That's all that matters. The government should not give a rat's ass about who you are, where you're from, or whatever, because the government needs money. People make money. Not black people, not white people, not Mexican people. All people can make you money. That's so stupid. Discrimination and racism is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
It sure is.
Like, who cares? Gay people can work just as hard as straight people.
I would believe. I don't think it really makes a difference, does it? Does it do something to your muscle structure, your work attitude? I don't believe it does.
I'm like, it's money. I'm like, everybody has something to bring to the table. If you got two gay people that want to work for you or buy a home from you or buy a car from you, you better goddamn to make that money.
Yeah, roll with
it. You better let them buy it.
Yep, so you can, get it while you can get it.
Now, like I say, when it comes to like raising kids and all that, see that part I don't know. Like I said, all I know is at the end of the day, if two people are together, whether black or white, whether man and woman or woman and woman or whatever race they are, if they're together to move forward and make this country better or any other country better, let them try it. If they fuck it up, then we can talk about them being gay.
then we can make jokes about them. Damn you!
They fucked that kid up because it was two daddies trying to raise a boy. Oh,
That's hey,
if it was a man and woman, that girl wouldn't have been like that. Then, but shit, let them try shit. Look, heterosexual people done fucked up a bunch of families.
Yeah. Give the gays a chance.
Yeah.
Give gays
what
a
you
chance. Anyhow, hey man, let's move on. And you know what? What is it? Oh, it's time for our asshole. No, it isn't. It's not time for our asshole. Oh, we could do our asshole video. And this is so fitting. This individual has graced the stage before.
Mm.
This individual may have been a multiple winner. However, this individual brings another individual who has won our asshole into the conversation. So let's call it an asshole and a half award.
Mm.
Then January 6th happens, and next thing you know, I organized the whole thing along with Steve Bannon here. And I want to tell you something, if Steve Bannon and I had organized that, we would have won this day. Not to mention, it would have been armed. Yeah. See, that's the whole joke, isn't it? They say that whole thing was planned, and I'm like, are you kidding me? A bunch of conservatives, Second Amendment supporters went in the Capitol without guns, and they think that we organized that? I don't think so.
Yeah, she need her ass kicked. That's some bull. It should have been armed. I'm mad now, man. I'm mad, Tim, because what they did was wrong.
She's an elected official, and she's up there
whether it was
preaching that stuff.
Whether it was organized or not, that kind of literature should not be going on. They should not even have meetings or conferences with someone talking that. This racist hate shit going on.
Isn't that crazy?
Putin should have bombed that shit. That's what need to get
There's a double bombing.
The wrong shit.
So we've got the neo-Nazi festival, and we've got the Marjorie Taylor Greene and
then we got the
Steve
American
Bannon
neo-Nazis. The American neo-Nazis over here doing the other shit. It's the same shit. Fucking assholes.
Don't you know? See, didn't that work? I told you I'd bring an asshole and a half into everything.
She's a real true bitch.
She's a real.
I don't like her.
She'll be there until people vote her out of office, my friend.
Well, who put her in the first place? Shitheads.
Voters. Let's move on to something better. So if you really need something done, what you do? Call a crackhead. And then sometimes, Larry, we discussed this, and these New York subways need to be cleaned up. And here we had a crackhead that just wanted to help the maintenance worker out. So check it out. I don't know.
Because it's not...
You know what I thought, though? I thought he was trying to help him out because he noticed that. Did you notice the tile behind him was like real dark brown, and he was doing he's just trying to do some color matching.
Damn, that asshole.
Would that be so disgusting?
I'd have been like, I have no, that's bad.
What are you gonna do?
You can't reuse your water no more. You gotta throw that away. It's toxic.
I wouldn't even want to touch it.
The mop is still good, but the whole thing is just toxic. It's gotta go. Feces in there. It's gotta go, man.
Anyhow, I hope everybody enjoyed that little bit. And let's get on to, it's time to close up the show a bit. And hey, Larry, he's got his LRE Fitness shirt on. What's up, Larry from LRE Fitness?
Hey, check me out on LRE Fitness, Facebook, LRE Fitness Solutions will keep you moving, or Instagram, LRE Fitness Solutions will keep you moving there also. Hey, it's the holidays is coming up. Really, I don't really have any tips. Really, I have tips, of course, but I know people are not going to work out as hard as they should. So I think the key things when it comes to holidays is maintaining some sort of activity. You don't have to be as strenuous as you might do when it's not the holidays, because you're not going to be as active and you're not going to be as really locked in like you should be. But at least maybe 3 days out the week, maybe sometimes get on a treadmill or go for a jog. If you're not going for a jog, maybe just do a little bit more walking. And if you lift weights, maybe not go heavy so you ain't spending too much time in the gym. And make sure you drink a lot of water, because usually alcohol consumption goes up around the holidays. Drink some water. You're not going to need electrolytes because you're not going to do a lot of strenuous workouts. So make sure you drink a lot of water, you drink a lot of alcohol, and just do something. Don't do much, just do a little bit, because it's the holidays, you're laid back. It's easy like Sunday morning. So that's my tip. Just do something. You ain't got to do a lot, but you got to do something. Drink water. Stay hydrated, because you will be consuming alcohol for those who does consume. LRE Fitness, check me out on Instagram and Facebook, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving.
And that is 100%, man. You are right. It is the season and everybody's going to be out celebrating. So while you're out celebrating, take it easy. Keep yourself hydrated. That is highly important. You're 100 on that. Let's talk a little bit. Change does not come if we wait for some other person or some other time to get it done, because we are the ones that we've been waiting for, and we are the ones that we seek. So get out there and get her done. Change is the law of life, and for those who look past the present, you're going to be missing the future. And, one little other tip. Everyone thinks of changing the world, Larry. You know what? But nobody really ever thinks of changing themselves.
Ooh, that's deep.
So think about that one.
Fitness, you got to exercise, baby.
Physically and mental fitness is important for everybody, man.
Exactly.
And that kind of has been a little discussion throughout the show, right? So, hey, there's a common thread there. So heed that. And anyhow, I guess, hey, Larry, let's tell these people until next week, we are so out of here. Peace, man.